Hey, welcome back. So in the last video, we opened the Fidelity brokerage account. And since then, I deposited $1,000 into that account. And today, we're actually going to start investing that $1,000. If you haven't created a Fidelity account, I would go ahead and watch the last video for you to catch up. So before we get started, I would like to remind you, this isn't financial advice. This is what I would do if I had to start an investment portfolio from scratch using ETFs. So today we're going to focus on buying 4 ETFs, and we're going to speak about buying those 4 ETFs in terms of percentages. If you start off with $100 or if you start off with $10,000, as long as you apply the same percentage, you'll be fine. The cool thing about Fidelity is they allow you to buy fractional shares. And all that means is if you don't have enough money to buy one full share of a security, you're able to buy a fraction of that security. So if you don't know what an ETF is, it's an exchange traded fund, and it's pretty much just a basket of companies in one security. ETFs are diversified, they're low in cost, and they're pretty straightforward. So what do I mean by low in cost? So one thing you'll hear in this video is the term expense ratio. And so the expense ratio is the annual fee the fund behind the ETF charges automatically from your performance. So in general, a lower expense ratio is better, but honestly at $1,000, it really isn't going to make a difference. For example, the difference between a 0.02% and a 0.2% expense ratio is about $1.80 a year on this portfolio. So it's not really going to start mattering until you hit past the $100,000 mark. But I'm just explaining it because if you do your own research, you are going to come across the term expense ratio. So it's good to know that ahead of doing your own research. So the split of my portfolio is going to be 40% in a S&P 500 ETF, 30% in a growth ETF, 20% in a dividend ETF, and 10% on an international ETF. Honestly, it's not exactly one size fits all. Some traders or investors might want to have more exposure into growth ETFs and they want to take more risk. That's totally fine. Again, this is how I would do it if I had to start from scratch. Okay, so I've logged into Fidelity. This is my dashboard. As you can see, I have $1,000 balance that I haven't invested yet. And I renamed the account from scratch because again, we are starting from scratch. So first thing you want to do is go to the top left corner and click trade. Seems a little complicated. It's not. We'll go through each field one by one. But so the first portion of this portfolio mix, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, is the S&P 500 ETF, and we are going to invest 40% of our portfolio into this category. So within the S&P 500 ETF category, there's a bunch of different securities or ETFs that you could choose. Some of the biggest S&P 500 ETFs include SPY, SPYM, VOO, IVV, and so on. Again, there's quite a few to choose from, and the main differences are going to be the expense ratios and liquidity. At this point in our journey, none of that really matters. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the SPYM, which is just a cheaper version of the SPY, and you might have heard the SPY. It's the most popular S&P 500 ETF. Again, we don't really need to focus on popularity or liquidity at the moment, so let's go for the cheaper option and go with SPYM. So we are trading stock ETFs from our trading account from scratch. Cash available to trade is $1,000, right? So we are going to go ahead and type in SPYM. And again, so just to show you the cost difference, so SPYM costs $87. If we look up SPY, it costs $739 per share, right? And so it is a little expensive, and most people invest in SPY because they want to trade SPY, and it is a very liquid security, but we are not concerned with that. So we are going to go back into SPYM and go ahead and buy it. So again, we are going to click on action. We want to buy. This defaults into buying shares. I mentioned earlier, the cool thing about Fidelity is it allows you to buy fractional shares. So we could actually change this option to dollars and specify how many dollars we want to invest in the security. So as I mentioned earlier, we want to put 40% of our portfolio into security. And so that will equate to $400 of the $1,000 balance. The order type, we could go into this a lot deeper in another video, but essentially the two options are market or limit. A market order is essentially just buying the security as early as possible at whatever price. A limit is where you get to choose a certain price point that you want the transaction to occur at. So time in force, it defaults to day. That just means if the order doesn't go through within the day, it's not going to go through at all. Other securities will have different times and forces. One thing to note, the trading hours is 9:30 to 4 p.m. Eastern. Just keep that in mind. I wasn't able to submit the trade yesterday, but it came back on. I'm able to submit the trade now. So let's go ahead and preview my order. So again, preview the order. We are doing a buy order. Order type is market, time in force is day. Just some warnings that you make sure that you understand what you're doing. So let's just go ahead and place the order. Cool, order is received. So now we are going to go ahead and place another order for another ETF. And so now the next part of my portfolio is 30% of growth ETFs, right? And so like the S&P 500, there are various types of growth ETFs. You know, the main ones that you might have heard of are QQQ, which tracks the NASDAQ, VUG, SCHD, again, various types of growth ETFs, and there's different sectors, growth ETFs as well. We are going to buy the QQQM, which is exactly like the QQQ. It tracks the NASDAQ, but it does have a lower expense ratio. Again, doesn't really matter too much. If you want to trade on the QQQ, I recommend doing that because it has more liquidity. But again, none of this really matters at this point. So let's just go ahead with the QQQM. So QQQM. Just last example, right? The QQQM is $290, whereas the QQQQ is $702. Again, QQQM is cheaper, similar to the SPYM, and we're not going to be trading with the securities or don't care about liquidity or really expense ratio at this point. So let's just go with QQQM. Again, like the other ETFs, we're going to buy in dollars, right? So growth ETFs are going to be 30% of my portfolio, which equates to $300 of a $1,000 portfolio. Order type, markets, right? We want it to be executed as soon as possible at the current market rate. Time in force, day. Preview order, let's go ahead and place the order. So the next portion of the portfolio is going to be a dividend ETF. And again, we are going to commit 20% of our portfolio to a dividend ETF. And dividend ETFs are essentially buckets that hold companies. They pay out regular dividends, right? So they pay out cash deposits into your account on a quarterly basis just for holding this ETF. And so this is going to add, some stable recurring returns into your portfolio. One thing I need to know is that those returns get reinvested into your portfolio. And so it is important to make sure that the mix stays consistent, right? So just keep an eye out for that. So let's go ahead and start a new order. Some of the more popular dividend ETFs include SCHD, VYM, and DVY. Let's just go with SCHD to keep things simple. Again, we are going to buy in terms of dollars, and we are going to buy 20%, which is $200 on a $1,000 portfolio. We want to buy at the market rate so it could go through instantly. Let's preview the order. All good. Okay, so now we are going to go into our last ETF, and that's going to be an international ETF. So you could have exposure outside of the US. And some of the bigger international ETFs include VXUS, VEA, EFA. There are different types of international ETFs that track different, international markets, whether it's, developing or emerging markets or already developed markets. There are, again, a variety of different ETFs for different categories. You could do your own research. For this purpose, we're just going to look at the VXUS ETF. And again, this will be the last portion of my portfolio. It's going to be 10% of the portfolio. So $100 of a $1,000 portfolio, market order again, and let's go ahead and preview the order and place it. Yep, and that's it. You easily diversified your portfolio on a $1,000 portfolio. As you can see, we already lost 50 cents on this portfolio. But if you go onto your positions, you'll see your 4 ETFs that you just bought, right? And you'll see the percentage of the account. So again, for the QQQM, that was our growth ETF. So we wanted to put 30% of our portfolio into that. You'll see here 30%. give or take. SCHD was our dividend ETF. We wanted to put 20% into that. SPYM was our S&P 500 ETF. We put 40% into that. And lastly, it was the VXUS ETF, which is the international ETF. We put 10% into that. Again, it's not a one size fits all. If you want to be even more riskier, you would put more of your portion into QQQM or a growth ETF, right? They are going to have more upside, but it is going to be a lot more volatile. That means there's just going to be more risk to it. But yeah, if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. Always happy to help. One thing I wanted to touch on was recurring deposits. So you could set up automatic recurring deposits into this account. When you do, it'll be held in this, let's call it security, which is a money market fund or cash. And so one thing to note is every time you do deposit money, to try to keep the same mix. So if you do see QQQM, being over 30%, let's call it 40%, you might want to avoid putting more money into that just to keep the same mix. That's what I do. Cool. So going back to summary, we lost $1 within this 2 minutes. Again, this isn't like a high yield savings account. There is risk to this type of portfolio. It is an actual investment to actual volatile securities. So keep that in mind. For now, you should be good to go. This is a very solid, easy, beginner-friendly portfolio. Just keep track of the percentages, and there's not much else to this, right? And that's it. You should now have 4 ETFs in your one diversified portfolio. Right now, we want to avoid picking any individual stocks. There is a lot more risk and volatility when picking stocks. So for now, let's start off here. It's a solid foundation in your investment journey. And so yeah, just you go ahead and leave it alone and watch it grow. Or like I mentioned, you could go ahead and contribute in a weekly, monthly cadence, whatever you prefer. Again, just try to keep the same mix and you should be fine. It should be pretty straightforward from here on out. In the next video, we'll touch on IRAs or Roth IRAs and why they are important in a solid financial portfolio. One thing I do want to note is I'm sorry if the second portion of that video seemed rushed. I am in a rush. I am about to go on a business trip and I needed to film the second part of the video during trading hours. That might explain the hectic hair as well and the hectic tone. So sorry if it did seem rushed. I believe I was able to cover everything I did want to cover, but if you feel like I didn't cover something that you would like me to cover, please let me know. I could cover it in the next video and dive deeper into that topic. But yeah, hope this helped and I'll see you in the next video.